Well, good morning. We are finally together on this Tuesday morning, February 23rd. It's about 10:30 on Tuesday morning, and we are continuing to journey through Lent together by reading the Gospel of Mark. Hello, my name is Pastor Jonathan, and I'm coming to you from our beautiful sanctuary at Robertsdale UMC, a space that we certainly don't take for granted in these days as we continue. After Hurricane Sally last September of 2020, we're continuing to make repairs and see repair work done in our church. So it is just good anytime and every time we can be together. Whether that's in person or digitally, thank you for engaging with us online, Facebook, website, YouTube channel. And thank you for journeying with us through this Lenten devotional time each day. This is a little later today than usual. I was going to try to record at my house, and the neighborhood noise was a little much. And when I got into the church office, just got into several things pastorally that delayed me a little bit. But at any rate, it's great to be together. We're going to be in Mark chapter 3 today, verses 1 through 19. If you want to listen as I read along, you don't have to pause the video today because I haven't done this yet. But today I did actually want to just read the whole passage together. And as we start, I just want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. On Tuesday, you might be thinking, why in the world would you say that to me today? Shabbat Shalom means Sabbath peace, and it is a greeting that the Hebrew people, the Jews, have been using on the Sabbath day for a long, long time. And today, as a believer and follower of Jesus, I wish you this on Tuesday, and hopefully today's reading might explain a little bit about why. Chapter 3 of Mark, verses 1 through 19. Another time Jesus went into the synagogue, and a man with a shriveled hand was there. Some of them were looking for a reason to accuse Jesus, so they watched him closely to see if he would heal him on the Sabbath. So they already think that he might break the Sabbath because he's already done it once in Mark, at least once. And they're looking to see if he'll break the Sabbath again by healing someone. Jesus said to the man with the shriveled hand, "Stand up in front of everyone." Then Jesus asked them, "Which is lawful on the Sabbath, to do good or to do evil, to save life or to kill?" But they remained silent. He looked around at them in anger, and deeply distressed at their stubborn hearts, he said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." He stretched it out, and his hand was completely restored. Then the Pharisees went out and began to plot with the Herodians how they might kill Jesus. Jesus withdrew with his disciples to the lake, and a large crowd from Galilee followed him. When they heard about all he was doing, many people came to him from Judea, Jerusalem, Idumea, and the regions across the Jordan and around Tyre and Sidon. Because of the crowd, he told his disciples to have a small boat ready for him to keep the people from crowding him. For he had healed many, so that those with diseases were pushing forward to touch him. Whenever the impure spirits saw him, they fell down before him and cried out, "You are the Son of God." But he gave them strict orders not to tell others about him. Jesus went up on a mountainside and called to him those he wanted, and they came to him. He appointed 12 that they might be with him, and that he might send them out to preach and to have authority to drive out demons. These are the 12 he appointed: Simon, to whom he gave the name Peter; James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John. To them he gave the name Boanerges, which means sons of thunder; Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James, son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. So I want to ask you a question today, and that is, how does Jesus change the Sabbath? We saw in one of our last passages that Jesus used the Sabbath to compare himself to King David, who also broke the Sabbath by getting food, the consecrated bread for him and his men. And in that sense, Jesus was claiming kingship like King David, to have authority to break the Sabbath in that way. But today he doesn't seem to be breaking the Sabbath and willingly violating it so much as redefining it. And this is intriguing to me because I guess my question for you is, as you read the New Testament, as you read the last third of the Bible that begin with the story of Jesus and contain the letters to the early church, I wonder what it tells you about Sabbath and how we might view Sabbath differently, because Sabbath was given by God to God's people, and it was given in a broken world, and it was given to slaves as they entered a new life of freedom. When Exodus tells us that the people of God were enslaved to work for Pharaoh 7 days a week. They never had a break. They never had a single day where their identity wasn't wrapped up in being a slave, being in bondage, and doing work. And so in Exodus, he gives them the 10 Commandments. And part of the 10 Commandments, part of the commandment for Sabbath is actually 6 days you will labor. But on the seventh, you will do no labor. You will rest from your work. Well, Christians redefine the day that we observe as the Lord's Day from the seventh day to the first. And it's been Christian tradition that instead of gathering together for worship on the Sabbath, the seventh day of the week, we gather for worship on the first day of the week. Because it's not Sabbath anymore that we're remembering. It's the resurrection of Jesus that redefines everything. And it's almost as if what Jesus is saying is in the kingdom of God, which remember is one of Mark's key phrases, one of the main themes that we see recurring throughout the gospel. In the kingdom of God, which Jesus came to bring, every day is like a Sabbath. Why? Because 6 days we work, and the seventh day we rest as a reminder to let God work, because God can do more with 1 day than we could do in 7 without a break. But when Jesus shows up, it's almost like he's saying your whole vocational life is redefined by joining with God in the work that he's doing in the world. So our task now is to make the allegiance to this king our first and primary allegiance, and to join him in bringing the kingdom of God to bear in all the broken places of the world. So in Jesus' day, the religious teachers were actually using Sabbath to be nationalistically exclusive. They were using it to exclude people, to even use it as an excuse to punish and prosecute lawbreakers who would violate Sabbath. And so that's why Jesus has this interesting question: is it lawful on the Sabbath to do good or to do evil? Are you using it as a negative? Are you using it as an excuse to exclude and to oppress people, to leave people in their broken, sick condition? Or are you using it to allow God to truly work in your midst to bring about life? And that's exactly what we see Jesus doing, bringing about healing. So in that sense, when you walk with Jesus, I'm going to make a provocative statement. In a sense, every day becomes Sabbath, because every day we're invited to rest in him. Every day we're invited to join God in his work and not just see our lives as 6 days working for God or towards God, so that on the seventh day we remember, oh yeah, we should let God do something. But rather every day becomes that Sabbath lifestyle of seeing the kingdom of God and participating in the kingdom of God right in our midst. I wonder how you would respond to that. I wonder what feedback you might offer as I share that reflection on Sabbath and how Jesus redefines it. And then finally, I just want to go to the calling of the 12, because this would be easy to read past. But did you hear what Jesus appointed the 12 disciples to do? It says he appointed 12 that they might be with him and he might send them out to preach and to have authority to drive out demons. You remember in the second day we talked about the authority of Jesus and how he even had authority to cast out impure spirits and to exorcise the demons. And like God did with Adam and Eve, his first humans, Jesus shares that authority with his disciples. But that's not what he appoints them to do first. And I happen to believe that these are in order, that Jesus appoints them to these tasks in order. And what does it say he appointed them to do first? To be with him. To be with him. Then he would send them out to preach, to declare the kingdom of God, and to be given authority to cast out demons, which is to demonstrate. So in order, be with Jesus, declare his kingdom, demonstrate his kingdom. That's what the season of Lent is all about. It's finding ways to be with Jesus. And so I ask you today, how are you doing? And if almost a whole week has gone by since Ash Wednesday last week and you really don't feel like you've settled into a rhythm, are there things that you need to stop doing or start doing in order to be with Jesus, in order to make intentional efforts to spend time with him? This is one of those maybe that we're doing to grow in the Lord together. What else are you doing this season to be with him? Because it is in being with him that we are then receiving his message to declare and his authority to demonstrate the kingdom of God to those around us. So if you are not finding it yet, my prayer for you is that through this whole season, you will find new ways to be with Jesus. And that would be your first priority. That would define the rhythm of your life. You would begin to enter that Sabbath lifestyle as a 7-day-a-week reality to let God constantly be working in and through you. I pray that you would know this today, and as we continue to journey closer toward Resurrection Day. This is Pastor Jonathan. I'll see you again tomorrow for our devotional, our Lenten devotional in Mark's Gospel, chapter 3, beginning with verse 20 in the morning. The reading plan is in the description of this video so that you can follow along. And we have our Genesis Bible study tomorrow night. It's Wednesday, so at 6 o'clock, we'll take a break from Mark, go back into the book of Genesis as we look at the story of Isaac at 6 p.m. in person in our fellowship hall or right here on our Facebook page or our website. God bless you, grace and peace.